Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting industry over the past week. You can watch us on your smart TV or on our website, turnpikesports.us, and we'll be right on the homepage. You can watch this episode right there. You can also listen to us on Amazon Music, Pandora Podcasts, and the new Samsung podcast page we have. Press releases. Info at turnpikesportsradio.com is where you send all the communications and news updates to us. This week, state and national reports. We've got some news benchmarks coming out of Colorado for August. And then we've got September benchmarks for Iowa, Oregon, Maryland, New York. We also have some numbers regarding Kansas and Ontario to talk about.
All right.
Deals. We've got deals involving Kindbridge. We've got a merger to talk about that we didn't have a chance to talk about in the previous episode between U.S. Integrity and Odds On Compliance. GeoComply has a deal to talk about. We've got a PrizePicks pair of deals to talk about, as well as a Hall of Fame deal for SB 22.
All right.
Then in our industry updates, we've got the NCAA launching their first sports betting education module. We've got updates regarding the PointsBet Fanatics sale. And then we've also got a new product launch from FanDuel.
Okay.
As well as a few launches to talk about as well. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to end up with our legislative roundup. We've got news from Maine, California, and Florida.
All right.
We're going to start with our state and national reports right after this.
80% of falls in the home occur in the bathroom. Don't put yourself or a loved one at risk. There's a safe bathing system for everyone's budget.
Enjoy a bathing experience that combines safety, comfort, and excellence. If assisted living is not for you, a BCI walk-in tub may well be the answer, giving you the safety and freedom to live independently. A BCI walk-in tub is the most affordable and comfortable walk-in tub in the market today. With our dual drain technology, your tub will drain quickly, and for those that still like the feature of a shower, our two-way bliss gives you both a handheld and overhead shower head. We offer the best financing in the industry with payments as low as $99 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months with approved credit. For comfort, safety, price, and selection, it's got to be BCI Walk-In Tub. Be one of the first 50 callers and save $1,500.
Call 800-354-4377, 800-354-4377 for a free no-obligation in-home consultation.
Attention. If you owe back taxes to the IRS, watch this urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by hiring 87,000 new agents to garnish your paycheck and put liens on homes and businesses. They can even seize your bank account. The IRS calls it enforced compliance, and now they have the manpower to get you. Penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily. So call One Stop Tax Relief Shop and get the IRS off your back. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. And no other tax shop gets you more or faster approvals. One Stop Tax Relief has resolved thousands of cases since 2014 and saved clients millions of dollars. Call now for a free consultation. Connect with tax professionals who get the IRS off your back.
Call 800-605-0688, 800-605-0688.
One Stop Tax Relief Shop.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. We're going to start off the state and national reports with a speech made by American Gaming Association Bill Miller at Global Gaming Expo, which happened last week.
G2E, everyone calls it.
G2E, that's one of the biggest in the world in terms of gaming and sports betting conferences.
See, I always thought that was the biggest.
It's
the most famous, I guess.
Yes,
you would call it.
It's the one everyone goes to. Yeah. But you also got places like SBC Barcelona, which is also the biggest one over there. But every year, G2E begins with Bill Miller, President Bill Miller of the American Gaming Association, addressing the crowd.
Yes.
And he made two statements in his opening address that kind of stuck out to me. According to Bill Miller, commercial U.S. gaming, or U.S. commercial gaming, depending on how you want to say it, has seen 10 consecutive quarters of growth since the pandemic.
Yeah, no, it's been incredible. I mean, anyone who's been to casinos has seen the crowds, and it's just absolutely amazing.
And this is only just the commercial gaming industry. The Native American tribal gaming industry is a separate entity. The American Gaming Association talks about commercial gaming. And also, Bill Miller mentioned that there are now more than 1,000 regulated casinos in America,
That's
the
amazing.
United States.
That's incredible.
That's an amazing industry right there.
Sure.
Again, only commercial casinos. Native American tribal casinos also probably rival that number in certain areas.
Oh,
too,
sure.
So.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, those were kind of two interesting statements that Bill Miller made to address the crowd at the beginning of G2E. That was the first thing that everybody was reporting on right off the bat. Great comments, great indication of how the industry's grown. Going over to our benchmarks, we've got some benchmarks coming out of Colorado. Colorado has reported their August sports betting numbers.
Okay. That's a great sports betting market, Colorado.
It's a continually growing sports betting market.
It's
too.
huge, yeah.
I know I think they've had 4 or 5 book closures, but the industry is still growing.
Well, I think everyone would call that a market correction. So, the strongest sports books survive, and that makes that market a lot stronger. So,
Yep. With their August sports betting report, the state of Colorado passed $3 billion year-to-date handle.
wow.
And all-time taxes since its launch past the $50 million mark. So that's a great sign right there for that industry.
And if you love table tennis, Colorado's the place to place your bets, apparently. So.
Regarding that market, it's very interesting to watch the table tennis market, how it's grown again. August marks the second straight month it's been over $12 million in handle.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
But they love their table tennis in Colorado. They love betting on it. So.
It was about 4% of the total handle both months. It was also the 6th most bet on sport in August.
Okay.
Below pro football, by the way. Pro football was number 5.
Wow. That's just absolutely incredible. Yes. What is it? Colorado and Oregon. That's where table tennis betting, I guess, is the strongest in this country.
But since when DraftKings took over the Oregon industry, they've actually just labeled it as other. So you don't really get a breakdown too much by that. Regarding some other benchmarks, we got September numbers coming out of Iowa. According to their September report, the state reported its highest handle since November 2022, I should say. I'm looking at minutes. I have November 2022. State also reported at least $20 million in revenue for the third time in its history. Very nice to see that market going. Year-to-date handle has passed the $1.5 billion mark, which is an incredible number for a market like Iowa. I want to say Ohio for that. I just can't get it.
Iowa.
Over in Oregon, speaking of Oregon reported their September numbers. Its second $60 million plus handle. And the 6th time it's hit $6 million in revenue.
Wow. Okay.
5th time this year. So before this year, they only hit $6 million in revenue one time.
Wow. Okay. Well, they're having a great year.
Exactly. Over in Maryland, the September report from Maryland became the 10th state to pass $3 billion in handle for 2023. They're $3.023 billion. They just squeaked over that benchmark. They're joining New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Arizona, Virginia, and Colorado as the only states to hit that mark for 2023, $3 billion in handle.
Wow. Okay.
We've got some news coming out of Kansas. Kansas reported their first year's sports betting numbers, fiscal years, I should say. They actually brought in $7 million in state revenue on $1.85 billion in handle for their first year.
So this is their first year anniversary, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Well, their fiscal year ended June 30th, so they're reporting those numbers.
All right.
Regarding New York, we've got a couple different things for New York. We got their weekly reports as well as the report for September.
So the full month of September, because New York, we just get weeks and stuff like that, so which is great.
For the week ending October 1st, New York's weekly handle was the highest of the year, but also was the highest ever for the industry. It was $468 million.
Wow, great.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Also, the week ending October 1st was the highest handle for FanDuel, and also the highest weekly handle ever for DraftKings.
I think I said this last week. DraftKings is doing amazing things.
Yes.
I mean, they're, in New York, FanDuel was king, and you can really see DraftKings really coming up on FanDuel.
In terms of the month, DraftKings led for handle, second straight month. Also, it joined FanDuel as the only operators to crest $700 million in monthly handle.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. FanDuel did it twice, January and March of 2023 this year. Even though DraftKings has been leading in handle, FanDuel, I think this is the number they like seeing, is leading in terms of revenue.
Yeah. That's the important one.
Yes.
But watch out for DraftKings. Yeah. I love what they're doing in New York.
There was actually a difference of about $15 million in the revenue numbers, which is a nice cushion that FanDuel has.
Yeah.
September's numbers also pushed FanDuel above $5 billion in handle all time and past $1.2 billion in all-time revenue.
Wow, okay.
Good numbers for FanDuel all the way around for September, even though they didn't get first place for in terms of the overall handle for the state.
Numbers still look good.
Yes. BetRivers set its own records. They had, in September, $4.2 million in revenue over just over $50 million in handle. Both of those were records for that sportsbook. Let's see. Also in G2E, and I wanted to hit this one real quick. There's going to be a formal release later on here, but a representative from iGaming Ontario spoke to the crowd, and according to that person, total wagers for the last quarter in the Ontario gaming market was around $14 billion.
Wow. Okay.
That's quarter. That's
all
3
right.
months worth.
Ontario is an amazing market. I mean, they just didn't allow sports betting. They allowed everything. Gambling expansion, iGaming, online poker.
Yes.
Boy, you name it, Ontario has it.
That is compared to same quarter last year. They only had $6 billion in handle total wagers.
So they more than doubled it.
Wow. According to the representative, the lion's share of the wagers for the quarter came from the iGaming sector. Around 80% of the handle was iGaming. Sports betting and poker provided a smaller percentage. The remaining 20% was between sports betting and poker.
Everyone loves the sports betting and the online sports betting, but iGaming is where the online providers want to go.
Yeah,
that's
where you make your money.
That's where they make the money.
That's it for the numbers. Let's head on over to some deals. Starting off the deals segment, we're going to be talking about probably one of the biggest mergers that has happened recently.
Yep.
U.S. Integrity and Odds On Compliance announced the merger to form the industry's first global compliance and integrity solution. Now, they had already done their joint venture Prohibet,
which is great,
earlier this year, and that's been kicking butt in the industry.
Yeah.
Every week we've been reporting on deals. As a matter of fact, after we do this story, we've got a Prohibet deal to talk about as well.
Okay.
But again, this is the first merger, and we didn't have a chance to talk about this, and this has been said all this past week. This is the first merger where everyone in the industry, 100% of the industry, is behind this one.
Oh, absolutely. They're doing incredible work in the industry. I mean, this is something that, this is what sports betting needed, and what they're doing is just incredible. Because everyone talks, it's in their name, integrity, and that's what keeps sports betting,
solid
footing and a solid business, and keeps sports betting, that's what people want to bet on, something they have confidence in. And I think that with this merger, I think it's really going just absolutely amazing for the industry.
Well, the deal is expected to close later this month.
Okay.
Regulatory and shareholder approvals from both companies. But Eric Frank over at Odds On and Matt Holt over at U.S. Integrity, two of the best in the business.
I think I interviewed them like a couple weeks apart.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was like...
we actually interviewed...
See, next time I interview them, I have to do it together. Since it's a merger, they have to be...
We may have to do that. We may have to do that. So, I'll work on setting that up for you.
Right.
But this is actually an incredible move, and there's nothing negative you can say about this.
No, I think, like I said, it's really great for the industry.
Yep.
And I think every sport
Yes.
that wants, and even the smaller sports, the great thing is, I guess they call them the niche sports. I think in order to grow and they want to be bet upon, I think they have to do a deal with like U.S. Integrity or odds on compliance, and that's what really makes them on solid footing in the sports betting marketplace.
Well, not just the sports, but also the operators too.
Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely. The operators. Yeah.
Following up their deal with BetMGM, Kindbridge entered into a similar deal with DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing Kindbridge starting to make some moves for gambling addiction services throughout the country.
They're doing amazing.
Great
things.
to see.
Absolutely
Great to see.
amazing. And especially for our veterans and our active military. I think what they're doing in that field is just absolutely great.
Yeah, we interviewed Daniel Umfleet from
Yeah,
Kindbridge.
yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to check it out, it's on our Turnpike Sports Spotlight, as well as on our national radio show, House of Cards.
I think within a month, I interviewed Matthew Holt. I did, who else? Eric Frank. And I also, Daniel Umfleet.
Yep.
It's like, wow, boy, it's a
good string of interviews
I
right
know.
there.
Like, yeah, how'd I known, huh?
Yep. GeoComply announced a deal with Canadian online sportsbook Bet99 to provide their geolocation services for that sportsbook in Ontario. It also includes a new feature that GeoComply has been giving its customers. It's a no-download browser solution for geofencing. Geolocation services. You know how when we first were doing this way back when all this started, you had to download the plugin?
Yeah.
This, no more plugin. This is a brand new solution. It's in the browser, and it also takes away that extra step of having to download something.
Okay.
Whether it's a companion app or the plugin.
See, that's great.
You don't
I
have
like
to
that.
do it.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a great move with GeoComply for Bet99, but that no download browser solution, that's a pain point. That's a pain point.
I still
for a
get
lot
that
of
with a
people.
lot of books. Even though I download the browser, I
Yes.
guess sometimes when my computer updates and things like that, or you clean the computer and something goes, they takes away the geolocation thing. So I don't know. I'm glad they starting to have it now. See, I love the technology that's developing in this area.
PrizePicks, pair of deals. We have a PrizePick partnership with U.S. Integrity for Prohibet, which we talked about. And we have PrizePicks also announcing that they've expanded their deal, PrizePicks, with the Atlanta Braves.
Oh, okay.
In Atlanta. They are the, as the club's official daily fantasy sports partner, they are now partnered with Braves Development Company to sponsor the Battery Atlanta Entertainment Complex.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
It's like Xfinity Live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which, by the way,
that's the best comparison I have.
Yeah, Xfinity Live is like I don't even know what kind of structure that is.
It's a little village of bars and restaurants.
It's like, but it's indoors.
Yes. Yeah.
It's. I hate to call it like a warehouse, but I'm sure
it is.
It's just indoors. And It's amazing. It's a lot of fun before and after games.
You're going to see PrizePicks signage everywhere, from the exterior wall of what's called the Yard House, which is a brew pub, to the PBR, which is the Professional Bull Riders Association.
By the way, we're talking about Xfinity Live. They have a PBR thing.
Well, same company that built it.
Wow. Okay.
So, and last but not least, for this segment, we've got SB22 announcing a partnership with Bet Leroy. It's a company led by Hall of Famer, Sports Betting Hall of Fame inductee Vic Salerno.
Great. All
So
right.
they are now combining to do a partnership for sports engagement on their mobile application, which features leaderboards, betting markets, and also the coming soon Apple Watch app for sports betting.
Wow. I don't have Apple. I'm an Android guy, but sports betting on your watch is I think I need better glasses for that. I mean, the words must be so small.
Well, it's one of those things where developments.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Or I got to get better glasses or something.
That's it for the deals. Let's head on over to some industry updates right after this break.
Every 40 seconds, a kid is reported missing. Find the Children provides educational material that teaches your kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs are very successful in bringing kids back home to their family. You can help protect our kids and bring the missing kids home safe by donating your unwanted car, truck, SUV, or van, running or not. We guarantee you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast free pickup, usually within 24 hours. Over 2,000 kids are reported missing every day. Call now to donate your vehicle. Donate now to bring these kids home safe.
Call 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260. 800-934-2260.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off with the NCAA, the National Collegiate Athletic Association. Recently, NCAA President Charlie Baker announced that they wanted to have more say in the development of regulations nationwide and also on a federal level.
Sure.
They have just launched their first sports betting e-learning module to educate the student athletes on problem gambling.
Wow. Okay,
this is
good.
a free interactive tool that the NCAA has made available to their 500,000 current and prospective student athletes. It's all delivered by former student athletes for student athletes. I actually have not watched it, but it's got scenarios, that they've acted out for student athletes to look at, Q&As. They've got links everywhere, other resources for problem gambling. So, good first step by the NCAA.
Absolutely, I think
love
it's great.
seeing this.
The important thing is communicating your policy to the student athletes. I mean, and sports betting is a new thing. It's a new creature in the athletics, and so it's so important to make the student athletes know what's expected of them. So.
And also, given what's going on with the NFL, they're
NFL,
missing a lot of the NFL players
needs
are
something
missing
like this too.
Yes.
Not only the NFL, but every professional
Yes.
league should have something like this.
But good move by the NCAA.
Yep.
Regarding the Fanatics acquiring PointsBet in the United States, we have 2 transfers that were approved. We have PointsBet New York LLC has now been transferred to Fanatics Betting and Gaming following the New York Gaming Commission's okay and approval on that. It will now start turning into Fanatics at some point.
Okay. So we
That's New
should
York State.
expect a slow changeover. If it's in New York, I'm going to see the commercials. I'm
From
already
what I
seeing
understand,
the
we may
PointsBet a Fanatics experience.
We
already.
may see November.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Also,
It's a couple weeks.
Yes. Also, ownership of PointsBet Wyoming was also transferred to Fanatics Betting and Gaming. So it's not going to be PointsBet a Fanatics experience in Wyoming too much longer either.
Okay.
There's double completion. It's kind of interesting seeing it move faster now. We've got PointsBet in 8 other states: New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Colorado, Iowa, Kansas, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia are all slowly becoming Fanatics Betting and Gaming.
I'm waiting to look at my phone to
Yes.
see it change over, because the one thing I remember when a totally different sports book was I had Sugar House on my phone, and one day I looked down, what the hell is this icon? It just, Sugar House automatically turned into Bet Rivers. So I wonder if eventually I'm going to see that on my phone, and once everything's
It'll flip
approved,
over
it
at some
just
point.
flips over, huh?
Well,
Okay.
you'll get an update.
Okay. I didn't even get an update with the other one. I just looked down at my phone. It had an icon on it. So
PointsBet will continue to operate as PointsBet in Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, and Ohio until Fanatics gets into those markets. FanDuel launched a new product. Boy, you were talking about how parlays were running the market.
Yeah.
FanDuel has launched the new Parlay Hub tab on their sportsbook app.
I saw this last week.
Website.
It's you click on the tab and it had all different already formed parlays that you can choose. And
going to be interesting to watch this, and see exactly who else comes up with this, because we also had BetRivers launch their Parlay Hub.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that. That's kind of becoming a new trend. A lot of the sportsbook providers have ready-made parlays for you. I haven't really looked at that yet. It's kind of like I feel kind of part of the parlays is making it yourself kind of thing. That's kind of the fun for me anyway. I mean, if you don't have time to do this stuff,
speaking
make
of that,
parlays for the sportsbook.
Speaking of that, the FanDuel Parlay Hub also has, even though it has pre-built parlays, it allows you to edit them.
Okay, all right.
Most of them
I haven't dived too deeply. I saw it, I looked at it, and some of it was, they have all different, the spreads are all different. I think that I don't know how they do it in descending order, or like if it's plus 800, the next one's plus 1,000, and so I haven't looked too deeply into it. But you click on the tab and it has all the ready-made parlays in it.
A couple launches to talk about real quick here. We have North Star Gaming announcing that their online sports betting site, NorthStarBets.com, will be launching soon, in the coming weeks. Novig, which is a sports betting marketplace, will be launching in Colorado as a regular sports book, not as a market exchange place.
Okay.
They have not been approved. Colorado hasn't approved any betting exchanges yet.
Mm-hmm. That's peer-to-peer for people who are listening.
Yes. DraftKings announced the ribbon-cutting ceremony for their DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale was October 19th. And the book will be open to the public Friday, October 20th.
Oh, okay.
They're having Larry Fitzgerald as one of the special guests, and also Ron Price, PGA Tour Chief Operating Officer, on hand as well. Last story of the week for our industry updates, we have Ellis Game Technology. They already have 2 retail books running in Washington, D.C. They got the Grand Central Restaurant and Sportsbook, and also the Cloakroom Gentlemen's Club over under Sportsbook Lounge, which is running, which recently set a record for handle.
Yeah, they're doing great there.
They now have a 3rd retail book opening up in the 4th quarter of this year at Grand Central Sportsbook on 8th Street. So they have 3 retail books in the district.
Great.
That's it for the industry updates. Let's finish up with our legislative roundup. We're going to start our legislative roundup by traveling up to New England, to the state of Maine. According to all reports, the legal sports betting industry in Maine is on track to launch anytime between November 5th and November 15th.
Wow.
Yes, they're moving very, very quickly.
That came up on me in like no time flat. So November 5th or between November 5th and November 15th, huh?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Unfortunately, according to reports, there are 3 local retail destinations that will not be ready at that time. They'll be ready to accept retail bets December or early 2024.
Okay.
So they're launching, but they're not launching, I guess you can say.
So what will the launch in Maine look like? Will people be able to bet somewhere, or what's going on?
This state may actually be one of the first ones to launch online before retail.
Okay, all right.
So we'll see exactly what happens here, but current rules and regulations are still waiting on approval from the state attorney general's office before anything could happen. But again, two of the 3 retail locations, Cumberland Fairgrounds and Favorites Off-Track Betting, are actually in the process of moving to new sites, which is their reason for delay.
Oh, okay. So, physically they're actually moving to new locations. So,
they're actually creating more room for more customers.
Good.
Which is a smart move. And I understand those 2 for launching later. I don't know what
I'm
the
surprised
third
the
reason
state's
is.
not getting all together and, hey, when is everyone
Yeah.
going to be ready? So we just have a big opening and have a big event and things like that. I'm surprised they're pushing for November 5th to the 15th when a lot of them aren't even going to be ready.
I think you got to look at maybe with the approval still in the works for the regulations, there may be some kind of finagling on the dates.
Well, yeah, they shouldn't be throwing dates out now. I mean, or was this kind of a...
Well, you still have the tribal casinos there that can still have books there. So, and also the online component can launch too.
Sure. Okay.
Over in California, we got two news stories to hit real quick here. Reading Rancheria announced successful passage of Assembly Bill 854, which is legislation signed into law by Governor Newsom that ratifies the tribal gaming compact with the state of California for the Reading Rancheria tribe.
Okay.
That'll take them through the next 25 years of gaming in California.
Great.
Also in California, the Pala Band of Mission Indians stated that they are intending to file some sort of ballot initiative for online sports betting.
Great.
As we know, that was a mess. What happened last time in California?
Can you imagine when California jumps on the sports betting bandwagon? My God, they're going to make New York's numbers look so small.
No guarantee that it will be filed for the upcoming ballot year, but they do intend to do some sort of filing for sports betting pretty soon.
Good.
And last but not least, we have no idea what's going on in Florida. Florida is still not launching yet. We have this other group, No Casinos. That's the name of this. Yeah. They actually were involved in getting the sports betting compact passed, are now filing petition with the Florida Supreme Court to file an amicus brief in the West Flagler case to side with West Flagler.
Okay.
So something may have happened behind the scenes with No Casinos that caused them to change their stance, or maybe they just want to be heard.
It's interesting. Yeah. I who knows what's going on in Florida.
Yeah. But I actually have to give the Seminole Nation a lot of credit here, being very patient.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have launched and shut down again, or launched and shut down at different times here. They have sat back. They want to go through the process and get this taken care of.
I think they have to do it the right way, and it's just one of those things. Yeah. It's hard to start something up and then to have it shut down. So
they did the first time.
I think they're doing it right.
Yeah, and also now with their new Hard Rock Bet. Yeah. I think they want to have all their ducks in a row before everything happens.
By the way, I've seen commercials for that up here in New Jersey.
Yes.
So.
Well, what's interesting, this could actually just go to the Supreme Court, the U.S. Supreme Court now, and just have to see exactly what SCOTUS does with everything. It could go, it could not go. We don't know. But again, patience for Florida sports betting. That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. Press releases, info at turnpikesportsradio.com. Keep them coming in. If you've been watching on TV, the ticker's been flying by with additional news stories we did not have a chance to talk about in this half hour. And as always, once this show is released, there will be a full print version with additional news stories that we didn't have a chance to talk about and that weren't on the ticker. On our blog, turnpikesports.us, click on the blog button and you'll see a full print version there.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.